The biggest mistake men make when they meet women: stop asking women the wrong questions. Stop asking yourself the wrong questions. Every time you meet a woman, your mindset is going to jump to one thing, and it's a big problem that a lot of guys have. And they're always either going to ask themselves, did I do something wrong, or does she like me? Did I say something wrong? Is she interested in me? Does she find me sexually attractive? And the single question that most guys mess up on is that they always lose before they even start. And the problem is, for many of these guys out here, let me start off with something simple for a lot of you guys out here. I've seen tons of guys doing this. I've dealt with clients who do this as well, and they sit across from a woman and she smiles at them and she plays with her hair, and instead of these guys actually being in the moment, what happens is that their mindset goes into this panic mode, and they're like scanning the woman for all these clues, and they're trying to decode everything that she's doing, every move, every look, every twitch, trying to somehow read her body language to determine if she's actually interested in you. And what happens is that while they're doing all that, they lose not only themselves, they lose their confidence and everything in between. And the woman can actually feel that kind of shift, that they're either trying too hard or they're trying to impress her way too much. And here's the truth that actually is going to flip the whole entire game. And when a man's first thought is, does she like me? He makes the greatest mistake, because the greatest mistake that he does, and most guys will never ever see it or game it out, is that he actually puts himself below her. He puts her on a pedestal, and he actually gives away his position. And most guys don't understand, before all of this happens, before she can even say a word. And this is the fastest way to actually kill the attraction from a woman. Because guys, women don't want a man who just waits to sit around and choose me, choose me. They want a man that thinks totally different, a man that says, you know what, I decide, I choose me. And see, the biggest problem is most guys out there, they never stop to ask themselves the real question. And when you have game, it totally is different, because when I see a woman, I'm not asking if she likes me, I'm not asking if she's interested in me or anything like that. I'm always going to give a woman an invitation to be selected. That is also on my mind, because as long as I look at the game that way of offering the invitation to be selected, it actually changes everything up. Because I'm asking myself, okay, yes, she has my curiosity, but is she going to be able to hold my attention or be worth my time, or even be able to get in the gates when it comes to my time? And is this somebody that I want in my kingdom or in my empire? And it is not looking at her body, but looking at her character to see that, you know what, just sitting back and watching how she moves. Is she going to bring me peace or joy? Or what is she going to bring valuable to my life? I mean, it's got to be, gentlemen, at the end of the day, it's got to be to your life. What is she going to bring to you that other women can't bring to you? Because remember, I'm inviting her to be selected. And if you invite a woman to be selected, you're saying that, yes, I am the opportunity, I am the prize. But when you start to think this way, gentlemen, one thing you stop doing is actually you stop overthinking things. And I know that's the issue with a lot of young men out there. Y'all are always overthinking things, because processing information real quick, and this is why we got to finish up with the Mouthpiece 101, because most of you guys are not processing the information fast enough. We got to work on that with you guys out here. Some of you guys are out here so busy trying to impress the woman, so busy that they're hoping they don't mess up. And the moment you think that, that's when the power dynamic is going to shift. And that's when a woman is actually going to think she holds the cards and all this other stuff. And see, what women actually want to feel from you guys out here, okay? Because as I said, her emotional perfect pitch, it wants to feel your sense of security. She can sense not only insecurity, she can sense neediness. She can sense desperation. She can sense a man that just doesn't know what he's doing. And guys, if you don't know what you're doing in all this, you're gonna mess up in all this. And this is why everything seems like it's going to change, because they don't, you see, the thing is then when you start asking yourself these questions, and the worst part about this is that when it comes to these women, they want to see you as a man. But if you're not moving in the game like a man, they're just gonna see you as just a fan. And what are fans? Fans are gonna tell how pretty she is, how sexy she is. Fans are nervous and fans want autographs versus getting between those butt cheeks and everything. Fans chase, men actually are gonna choose, and that's the difference. And the question is, what is it that you actually want to be with her? Because here is the crazy part, gentlemen. A lot of guys out here don't even realize they're even doing this. And as I said before, I'm not a mean person, but guys, I don't want you to be polite. And I know y'all guys think being polite is walking on eggshells. And I know from your reality you want to be respectful and you're trying to be nice. You're trying to keep the peace. You're trying to do all these things that is not only going to show your insecurities, but it's going to show your low self-esteem. It's going to show your low self-worth. And if you're moving that way with low self-esteem and you're moving that way with low self-worth, man, you're not going to win with these women, man. These women want something different. They want something more. They want something exciting. Women don't want to feel your insecurity. They want to make sure that in the interactions that we have, that you're actually secure in yourself. And that is why we have to stop sitting around here and actually doing that. We have to stop and we have to actually take a moment and think. And I want you guys to actually game this out. Okay, just for a moment, imagine walking into a date with one simple shift. Not the thought process of, I hope she likes me or does she like me? But sitting around and saying, you know what? I'm going to invite this woman to be selected because I just want to see and I just want to know how this woman is actually going to fit into my life. And what many of you guys don't see right now is that when you make that one subtle change right there, everything's going to change because your interpretation of everything's going to change at that point, guys. Your voice, your posture, your calm. Even when I talk that way, see how calm, I'm not smoking or anything, but you see how laid back and calm I am just by saying those mere words is, you know what? I know what I'm here to do. I am here to invite this woman to be selected. And when you are so laid back in a cut like this, women can actually feel that because now it's at this point you're not trying to perform anything. You're actually evaluating. You're not doing the thing that most guys are doing. You're not chasing gentlemen. You're not being nervous. The weird thing is that you're weird. You're grounded in yourself. And now one thing, okay guys, you know the ones that get the job interviews are the ones that are really cool under pressure? Okay? Because if the candidate that is trying to get the job is shaking and he's nervous and he's talking way too fast and he's trying to impress the person interviewing him, he's gonna lose. Guys, I always remember when I would always get an interview, man, I know, but when I walk in there, I didn't have a nice outfit. I didn't have a nice tie. I didn't have nice clothes. I could only afford average things, gentlemen, when I went into interviews. I believed in myself, and I believed that when I went in there, that the job was mine. They just didn't know it yet. So when I would meet somebody, and this is when you know you have it, when you meet somebody, when you go on your job interview, like I would do, is after I would woo them so much, they would say, oh wait, can you hold on 1 second? And they will run and they will get the second interview. See, most jobs, you have an interview and then you leave and then they look at the candidates and then you go for a second interview. But when you hold a certain presence with somebody, they'll be like, oh wait, oh hold on 1 second, I'll be right back. And they'll go get the second interviewer on the first interview because they are really shocked by how you control the room and how you maintain the poise and how you talk. It's the same thing, gentlemen. Clear, relax, not rushing, not begging, but engaging with the woman, not as an interview, as a candidate, but someone saying that, listen, that I meet a lot of women a lot of times, and I run into a lot of women, and what I want to know, and the thing that I want to see above all things, is I just want to know what's behind your ass and behind your titties. That's what I want to know. Sorry, guys. As you can see, that's my other phone ringing, excuse me. But anyway, what I say for all you guys out here, that's what is so important about everything. And see, gentlemen, when you sit around and ask, gentlemen, does she like me? Guys, you lose your focus, you lose the standard, and you lose the ability to see the red flags in the person because you're so busy overlooking everything, you psych yourself out. And you also lose the ability to show her the best side of you. I want women to see the best side of you and see why you are very important to them. But when you don't do those things, you flip a script and everything that you want right, it always seems to go wrong. So here's the question that puts you in and locks you in and brings the power back to you. It brings the power back into your world, one thought, one mind, one way. You've got to start looking at the perspective of the beauty that you have as a man, and you've got to start looking at the perspective of what and who is she. Because guys, I know it shocks you. I've always said this for every woman that I meet. I don't want to get to know her. And I actually mean that. I know a lot of people are like, what do you mean that, like, you don't, Steve, what does that even mean? Like, you're saying you don't want to get to know her, then what is the purpose of even going on the date with the woman if you actually don't want to get to know her? And I'll explain in 1 second. So here's the problem that a lot of guys have when it comes to that don't get to know. You see, guys, the reason why I don't want to get to know a woman is because a woman that you meet is going to be the subtotal of every guy before you. Every guy that she texted before you, every guy that's hit on her before you, every dinner date, every romantic gesture, every hug, every kiss, every flirtatious, every guy, every needy, nerdy, weird, creepy, and guys, all those guys. But the one thing those guys don't have in common with you guys, is that you're authentic. The thing about you is not only that you're authentic, but you're decisive. You're dominant. You know what it is you want. You do not worry about risk taking. And see, if your interpretation of the world is totally different from the average guy that she knows, then why would you want to get to know her? Because if I moved like everybody else before her, then she is going to lump me in with everybody else that she met before she met me. And I don't want to do that. That's why I always say to all you young men out here, this is why everything we talk about and everything we teach is very important. Because if you look at it and you actually game it out correctly, you'll understand that I want you guys to get the power back in your hands without losing who you are. And what I want you to do is the way you talk to yourself. Because again, for me, it's more of an invite to be selected. Because of my mindset and because what I can do sexually to a woman and things like that, I think differently, and as you guys become a student of the game, you are going to think differently too. You're going to see everything differently as well. Everything is going to change for you like it did for me. But the thing is, once I say to myself, once I ask myself the question, really, the thought process of who I am and why I am and how I operate, the thing that's important to me is I say these things because I want to think clearly. Because when I think clearly, I'm going to listen differently. I'm going to stop observing. I'm going to pay attention to who she is. I'm going to evaluate her presence. I'm going to see how she's moving, how she's thinking, and how she's operating. And I'm not going to see her as some kind of a character. I'm going to see her with who she is and why she is. And she's going to recognize that I'm not nervous or worried or jealous or upset or anything. She is going to start to see things about me that she's not used to. And that is when you flip that question. Women are going to actually start treating you differently, because what they're going to do is actually respect you more. They're going to speak to you differently, gentlemen. They're going to look at you differently, and they're going to give you more honest answers and things like that. Not because you're actually seeking approval, because that's the thing, I'm not out here trying to seek approval or anything like that. What I'm doing is that I'm finally standing on who I am, and I'm just not out here to perform anything. This is not like a circus trick. I'm not a circus clown and everything. So what I'm saying is that we've got to stop looking at women as the prize, and we have to stop putting pressure on ourselves saying, is she the one for me? What kind of man should I be for her? You don't need to move that way, guys. But the way you need to move is when you meet a woman, you've got to talk to her as if you're the prize. You can never go in this thing and ask yourself, like, does she like me? Because the moment you do that, you actually are going to lose yourself. And I want you to keep your power. I want you to keep your value. I want you to stand on your square, because women are going to chase that man. Women are going to think about that man. I know that you can actually be that person when you lock this game down. Gentlemen, that's what I want you guys to do. I want you to start actually believing in yourselves. And I want you to try it one time. Try it before you text her. Before you text a woman, before you talk to her on a dating app, before you do anything, I just want you to say to yourself, the reason what I'm about to do is I'm about to invite her to be selected. And that should be what do they say, those minds, it should be a calming feeling. It should be a calming feeling, because what I want to do is I want to actually calm your nerves down. And I don't want you to trip out, get worried, get nervous or anything like that. I want you guys to actually know that, okay, this is who I am, this is what I want, this is how I move, this is how I think. And when you can actually do, that's what's actually going to change up the game for you. I want you to change things up, but the only way you're going to change them up is that you're going to have more of a belief in yourself that I am worthy of these things, and I'm not going to settle for anything less than who I am and what I am when it comes to the game. Gentlemen, I know you got this, but guys, I just want you to try it out. The next time you want to talk to a woman, the next time you want to text a woman, the next time you do anything when it comes to the dynamics of a woman, in the beginning, I just want you to talk to yourself and tell yourself, okay, I'm inviting her to be selected. Just because I invite you doesn't mean I'm going to select you. I invite you because you have my curiosity. Now I want to know if you can hold my attention enough to come in the doors, be worth my time, be worth my attention, because the higher you go up with me, the more benefits you're going to get. So we've got to look at it that way. And if you can start looking at it that way, everything is actually going to change up for you. Okay, gentlemen, I believe in you guys. I just want you guys to take a moment and start to believe in yourself. And gentlemen, always remember, if you're ready to start your pathway and you're ready to grow and ready to learn, right here, as you can see, it's going to be our pathway right here. Just go to themanmindset@gmail.com. Go ahead and ask for your pathway, and there you're going to have it. We'll send you a PDF file just to get you started when you're ready to move forward. If you don't, keep soaking up the game until you're ready to make the move. But also, guys, one thing I appreciate, guys who like, subscribe, and got the notifications. We always have live shows all week long, so that gives you the opportunity to call in live. You can call in with your questions dating questions, man questions, and also text messages, because we spit the game right off the top of our dome. So I just want to let you know that. But anyway, that's going to be the end of the video, not the end of our discussion, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments and everything. And guys, tell me something. Let me know how it feels if you tried it. Just try it one time and let me know how it feels to you, and put that in the comments. I try to read all the comments, but sometimes they come in so fast, my phone can't grab them all. So if I do get your comment, I promise I'll like it and try to respond to it the best way if I can. Okay, guys? And if you like this video right here, you are gonna love this video that you're seeing right here. So guys, please soak up the game. I'm Stephen Dean Williams, and I will talk to you later. Peace.